Hey everyone, welcome back to Papa's Workshop. Well, the holiday season is upon us, and it's time to start thinking about getting ready for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. Today I decided to make some cookie cutter stamps. These actually turned out fantastic. I want to get this up close in the camera so that you can see it. That will be able to stamp into the cookie dough. And I have one like this that impress into the cookie. And I have another one where I reverse the image, and in this case, it will impress into this cookie stamp, and those letters will be raised. Now this has a world of possibilities as far as the creativity. I hope that you'll take the opportunity in your kitchen to be able to design and share with your family and friends cookies for the holiday season with your special stamp that you've made. And if you do that, please send me an email, show me the pictures. I would love to be able to see the creativity that you have. Now these cookie cutter stamps turned out absolutely fantastic. Both the positive image that you see here and the negative image, they work great. I want to show you how easy it is to be able to design these and reverse the image with the same graphics. I'm using the glue and tape method to hold down this acrylic. Now I have the two pieces of tape on this side because that's where the artwork is going to be cut out. And of course on the other side, I just have the one piece to secure the acrylic. Now I'm cutting out the cookie cutters right down here in this bottom corner, and then I'll put one right above it. And that's the reason I have the two pieces of tape there to be able to secure it. When I designed this, I used the center point of the design for my XY0 position. But for now, let me grab the CA glue. Now this is the medium CA glue by Starbond, and I'm going to use that to hold this acrylic down in position. I want to remind everybody that it does not take a lot of glue to be able to hold your project down. I'm literally putting one thin bead of the glue on each of the pieces of the tape, and that's it. Then I'll take the accelerator and spray it on the other pieces of tape that will be the matching. Once that's done, you literally drop this acrylic right in place and press it down, and you're ready to be able to start the carving. As a reminder, I do have a substantial discount code in the description below. Now the bits that I'm going to use is this 60-degree V-bit. Now this is a 1/4" shank that I'm going to use for all of the detailed work. And then for the roughing pass, I'm going to use this 1/8" upcut bit, and what that will do is clear out the bulk of the material, and it will get those chips up and out of the way. One of the things that I do in my shop is I have these collets set up on the nut, each of them separate. Now this collet is set up for the 1/4" shank, and that will just slide right in. When I get ready to change over for the 1/8", I have another collet that's set for that one. I'm using the OpenBuild software to be able to control the Fox Alien Vasco CNC machine. When you open this up, the first thing we need to do is unlock this. So I click on that, and then the next is I home the machine. And that of course is going to bring it right down to the bottom left-hand corner. Now I'm going to be using this center point to be able to carve this out because that's simply the way I designed it. But once the machine is homed, then I'm going to move it directly over to that position right there, and that will be the work XY0 position. With that now in position, let's go over to the controller. I'm going to select set 0 for the X and the Y, and you can see that as my work 0 position. The only thing that's left is to the Z probe. We'll do that next, and we'll be ready to be able to start the carving. Now I'm going into a lot of detail because I've had so many questions. Here I have the probe set, and I'm ready to start the process. I literally just click this button right here. It brings up this menu. I know the thickness of my plate. I don't need to change that. Confirm the position, hit probe, and the machine will go through that probing process. And you can see it there. It only takes just a moment to do it. When it's completed, you get this little pop-up window, and this is the reminder to remove the clip and the probe and get it out of the way. At this point, we're ready to load the G-code. So right up here, we'll push this button. That'll open up this window to be able to open the G-code. That brings me up to the file. Now this file is on my thumb drive, so I'm going to scroll down, click the USB drive E, and there is the G-code. So I need to be able to cut the detail pass first, so I select this one right there and hit open. That will bring that file directly into the Open Build controller. When you click the open and you get that file loaded, you're going to get a graphic representation right down at the bottom. That's important to be able to look at. You want to verify that that's the actual carving that you want. And this does show the detail. The blue dot in the center, that's the actual location of the bit. It's important, and I'm going to stress that, to please verify that this is the actual file that you want. It is too easy to be able to select the wrong file, and then you may have the wrong bit, the wrong file, and it will just make a mess of your project. By verifying that you know this is going to cut out the detail, to me that's very, very important. So please get in that habit of always checking it. The only thing that's left to do now is click this button to run job, and the machine will start the carving. Now, as I said, I like to do the detail pass first because it provides structure for those little small details that are always being cut out. Now, when you cut this acrylic, you're going to have a lot of the chips all around the machine, and you're going to have it where it's a little bit difficult to see exactly what that image is looking like. But you can take the vacuum, brush this away, and you can start to see that very fine detail down there, and you can see that this is looking absolutely fantastic. And this is the opportunity to verify that it's cutting and not melting the acrylic. The detail pass is now finished. It's time to change out the bit to the 1/8 inch upcut, and to do that I'm going to use the collet that I have all set up for it. Now this nut with the collet in it is the way I have all of these set. Now that creates less wear and tear on the collets, and it actually makes it faster to be able to change from one bit to another, to have these preset this way. So at this point, I'll take my 1/8 inch collet and my 1/8 inch bit and get it loaded into the spindle. At this point, everything is tight. It only takes about 1/4 of a turn. Next, I want to get the bit, collet, anything that's in the way, get that off of the board. Next, I'll Z the machine, because the height of the bit changed. The XY0 home position remains the same. Back at the controller, I'll open up this file again and I'll load in the roughing pass and hit open. And again, verify that this is exactly what you want. You can see the path that it's going to take. Okay, at this point, the Z probe is completely done. The file is loaded. It's been verified. All I need to do is just hit run job. And I'll click run job. And just like that, when I click the run job, it immediately starts the actual cutting. Now it's going to cut out all of the interior portion first. When that is done, it'll move and cut out the cookie cutter stamp itself. Now because the glue and the tape method is going to hold that right in place, I don't have to worry about any movement at all. That glue and tape will hold it exactly where it needs to be. I want to zoom in up close so you can see exactly what this bit is doing. And you can see with that upcut bit how it's taking these chips and pulling them up and out of the way. It gives you a much clearer picture of exactly what's taking place as compared to that V-bit. And this is looking absolutely fantastic. It's clearing out all that material and getting away right up to the edge of the letters. Once that is all finished, it starts. Now it starts out slow. This is a ramping operation, so it does not put stress on the bit or on the acrylic. When it reaches the proper depth, then it goes ahead and moves at the full speed. Just to be on the safe side, I used 3 passes. Really wasn't necessary, but I wanted to go slow and make sure that there was no problem. This little material right here is actually the covering that was over the acrylic. That just simply can be pulled away and get it out of the cutting area. It's not going to cause any problem. It just makes it where you can see a little bit better. Now this is the completion of the 3rd pass, and you can see that it's getting down to that blue tape and just cutting the surface of that. And just like that, 3 passes are done. This stamp is finished. Yeah, I've got this removed now. I'm going to brush this off a little bit, clean it up, and let you see a close-up. So after just a little bit of cleanup, this looks really good. Now the next step that I want to do is reverse this. I want the letters to be recessed, and that way when you bake the cookie, those letters will be raised up. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. We're going to go back into the VCarve Pro and we'll make that change. This, I'm very happy with. This looks absolutely awesome. Hope you can see this in the camera well. Trying to get it at different angles so that you can see how that looks, but it does look fantastic. I'm back in the VCarve Pro now, and this is in the toolpath screen. The first thing I'm going to do, which is not really completely necessary, but I'm going to delete all of the toolpaths. It makes it easier for me to be able to show you exactly the steps that I'm taking. From here, I'm going back over to the design screen and selecting the 2D view. What I will need to do is just literally delete that outer line, and that's going to make it where when I set up the toolpaths for the VCarve, it is going to cut these letters into the material. So I'm going to start at the 0 depth. I'm going to go down to a 0.05. I'm staying with the 60-degree V-bit. Now I will say this, after having done this, I think I would go with a 20-degree V-bit just to make these letters a little bit wider and a little bit thicker at the bottom. But it still worked just fine. And of course, when you try to calculate, you do have to highlight all of the vectors that you want to calculate. And there it looks just fantastic. This is what you want it to do. You want it to be able to cut into the acrylic. I'm going to zoom in so that you can see, and this is the detail that you want. It's the opposite of what we had just done before. So this looks real good. So now that I'm happy with this, I want to go back and put in the correct name. I got in a little bit of a rush and didn't save the file with the proper name on it. So instead of just having a VCarve 1, I'm going to put in the file name so that I'll be able to save the toolpath and be able to find it when it comes time to load it into the OpenBuild software. Now that that's done, we'll close this window and we'll move back over to the design. So just click that little icon right there. It moved back over to the design side of things. I click the button to go to the 2D view, and now I'm going to come to the circle. Put it right in the center, stretch this out. I want to be able to have this circle at the same as I did before, 2.625 inches. And that's simply because of the cookie cutter that I'm using to be able to cut that out. And I can manually type that in and then hit apply, and that will adjust that circle, and then close it. That's all that you need to do. We'll set this up now to do the profile cut. Let's go back over to the toolpath, and I'll select the toolpath for the profile right there. And at this point, it will start at the 0. I'm cutting it down to 1/8 of an inch. I'm using my 1/8 inch upcut bit. I am cutting this on the outside. I will be using the ramping operation because I do want to be able to protect the bit and the acrylic itself. And from there, we'll change the name, and then we'll calculate this toolpath. So you can see it does not take long at all to be able to make these changes and get ready to be able to carve again. So let me hit calculate, and you'll be able to see exactly what's taking place. I have both of the toolpaths showing. We can reset everything, and you can see exactly how it's going to carve. Perfect. That's what I want. So now let's take this back over to the machine and get this cut out. This stamp, I think, is going to look really good. Now, as I had said earlier, in hindsight, I would change this to a 20-degree V-bit, and that's going to make it where it's a little bit deeper all the way down, and I think that would actually work better for the cookie dough. Now, the first step, of course, is to save this. So I want to save this as And I want to put this right back over into my cookie cutter file folder. So there's my cookie cutter file folder, and I want to change the name of this to the Papa's Workshop. And this is the reverse. So now we have that saved, and I'll just save the toolpaths and we'll be ready to do the carving. At this point, I've changed a bit back to the 60-degree V-bit. This is going to be my XY0 position for my home, and I've Z'd it, so we are actually ready to go. I went ahead and brought the file in, so this is exactly what it's going to be carving out. So I have the right file. So next, let me just hit run job. And it begins the carving itself, and this is looking really good. The most important thing is you want to make sure that you have your feed rate set so that you're not going too slow or too fast. You want to be able to see those chips flying and not burning and sticking into the acrylic. And that's one of the biggest problems that people have when they are using the acrylic. Now the detail pass is finished. I've already switched out the bit. And the only thing that this bit has to do is do that profile cut. And again, it starts out very slow, ramps down into the material, and then it goes full speed around. And again, I did this as 3 passes. This is the completion of that 3rd pass right here. And just like that, the project is finished. So let's take a look at it. I do use the putty knife just to be able to lift it out. And yes, it is going to need a little bit of cleanup just to get all these chips off and this tape. But there's no CA glue on it. That tape protects it. Oh, same thing. Let me clean this up a little bit and we'll take a look at it. Now the first thing, that protective covering is on there. And when you pull that off, that instantly makes it look a lot better. Now, after cleaning these up, I do think they look amazing. I look forward to baking some cookies using these cookie stamps. It's going to be a lot of fun this holiday season. Now the way this works, you're going to take some dough, and I'm going to use some Play-Doh for my example today. But so just take your dough, going to put it down on your table, and you're going to roll it out. Now you do need to have a special dough. You don't want to have a dough that rises a lot because the letters and the shape will just disappear. I'm going to take this one first right here and let's stamp it. We'll put it down right where we want it. Press it into our dough. Then you take the cookie cutter and just place it right on top and cut out your cookie. And you're going to be left with the perfect impression here. And you can see how that looked. That would be awesome if you were able to bake that in your oven and have some nice cookies. Now you're going to need to see the bakers in your family to get the right dough. And if you can't find any, come back, leave me a comment, and I'll set up a recipe and show you exactly how to do it. Now I want to go ahead and show you the other stamp. So let me grab the leftover Play-Doh. We're going to roll it up into a ball and then roll it out flat on my little cookie sheet. It's just really just a sheet of the aluminum. Then we'll take the other stamp right here and do the same thing. We're going to push it down into this. Oops. Take the cookie cutter, be able to cut this out. And you can see just how nice that looks. That is absolutely fantastic. And like I said, if you have the right cookie dough, that's the way it's going to bake. Now, I'm actually not sure which one I like the best because both of them have a lot of appeal to me. But I am going to have a lot of fun with this to make some additional cookie stamps for the different holiday seasons. This is a lot of fun. I want to thank everybody for watching this video today. I know it was a short video, and sometimes that's important too. But these are going to be a lot of fun to make. Now, I have this one set up like I showed you for the Christmas time, and I think I'm going to go ahead and design some for Thanksgiving also. We have a lot of family and friends over, and I think this would be a perfect opportunity to do a Happy Thanksgiving cookie. You can make any size, shape, and design that you want. Now, this has a world of possibilities as far as the creativity. I hope that you'll take the opportunity in your kitchen to be able to design and share with your family and friends cookies for the holiday season with your special stamp that you've made. And if you do that, please send me an email, show me the pictures. I would love to be able to see the creativity that you have. Again, I want to thank everybody for spending some time in my shop today. These cookie cutter stamps are absolutely fantastic and a lot of fun to make. Don't forget, you can make these for any holiday that you wish. So I look forward to seeing your creativity. Again, thank you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.